Hi everybody, Namaste. My name is Falak. I'm a Montessori directress of a beautiful space called Islet Montessori in Bengaluru, Karnataka, India. Last week on our live, I had told that I will be discussing about a couple of myths surrounding Montessori because people really want to explore Montessori and try Montessori, really want to have their children go into a Montessori school. If you want all that, you have to be aware of all these myths and more floating around. Unfortunately, Montessori as a name is not trademarked. It can be used by any school, whether they are following Montessori authentically, whether they are a semi-Montessori school or not a Montessori school at all, because the name as such pulls parents within it, and rightly so, because an authentic Montessori environment is beautiful, is amazing, it's a blessing for children. So without further ado, let me touch upon 7 myths that I've highlighted, which are very popular. I have heard parents talk about it all the time, especially during initial admissions. Today I'm touching 7, but these are just the tip of the iceberg. Number 1, Montessori is just a methodology. It's a curriculum. Well, Montessori is a method, but it is a method of life, a way of life. It involves everything. Facts about parenting, about raising children, about their activities that they do, the work that they do, overall complete development of the child, and also the development of the environment and the adults in that environment, including the educator and the parents or the guardians. So that's number 1 myth, busted. Number 2, let me talk about the second myth. It's like Montessori only exists in a preschool setting. No. Though in India, most popular Montessoris are for toddlers to say 6 years, but there are beautiful Montessori spaces for older children as well. Actually, if you have an Earth Kinder environment, that goes up till the 12th grade. So all the way through school. So my own daughter is in her elementary Montessori, a beautiful school. She will be going in her 5th year. So she finished her primary Montessori and she went into the elementary Montessori. And we are in no rush to take her out. We want her to continue with Montessori for as many years as possible, all her school life. Right, so it's not only preschools, but yes, the fact is, elementary schools are very few in India, good authentic elementary schools, elementary Montessori schools, and Earth Kinder schools are absolutely like very, very, very few in India. There are a lot of people who say that teachers don't teach in Montessori. Well, after going through a regressive training, after making so many things where we spend our days and nights into it working with children, if we get to hear that, then that definitely is a myth. Our way of teaching is different from conventional. We believe in the overall development of the child. No two children, whether even if they are twins, are the same for us. We observe them, we see what is working for them, what they are ready for, what they are not ready for, then plan what we have to show them. We, most of the time, a lot of times when you come to school, you'll see us sitting in a corner with a notepad and noting down things and tracking each child. So that is very important. If you call that as not teaching, then be it. But we help the child, guide the child, and we follow the child. And if we have 30 children in one classroom, we follow 30 different paths with 30 different children because we follow the children. And you should see the children who are graduating from a primary Montessori or an elementary Montessori or higher. You will... this myth will get busted on its own, that Montessori teachers don't teach. So the third myth is busted. Fourth is that Montessori is just a trend. Now this is attached with another myth that Montessori is outdated. Well, let me talk about trend first and then let me talk about the outdated bit. Trend It's been here for more than 100 years. It's based on so much research. Successfully, schools are working globally, working with children, authentic Montessori schools for years. How can it be just a trend? A trend that lasts over a century? Well, a trend that has amazing results, a trend that can have children who can boost of overall development. It's outdated. Again, another myth which is attached. Um, Something which is based on research of observing the actual children, something which actually follows a child and observes the child and then decides when the child is ready for what and offer them what they want and how they want it, can never be outdated. So yes, Montessori is not a trend. It's not outdated. It's extremely relevant. Is as relevant as your children and childhood. Montessori schools are expensive. So that's another myth, which is, I guess, the fifth one. So we've busted 4 myths and this is the fifth one. If you compare to a regular preschools, many Montessori schools might seem expensive, but there's a reason behind it. The teacher training is extremely intense. You will not find in an authentic Montessori school teachers being hired without getting trained. If training is intensive, salaries will be comparatively higher. The authentic Montessori material, premier material come at a cost. Usually you don't invest a lot in notebooks, worksheets, stationery, everything once you pay for a good authentic Montessori school, because you will be investing that and usually the school takes care of it. So the overhead costs are very less. And if you do a complete calculation, you will see Montessori schools are actually at par as far as fees is concerned with a regular preschool. You pay for the experience, for the overall development of the child, and that's a choice as parents you have to make. If you want a child to be in an authentic Montessori environment, then you need to pay the cost, bear the cost of it. So yes, it's not expensive really if you calculate everything. So that's another myth busted. And yeah, so this is my least favorite. Montessori children are not able to transition from Montessori schools to regular school. Well, Montessori children are extremely social, most of them. Actually, we don't push anyone to be social, non-social. They know how to adapt to environment. They are curious, they are hardworking, they know their stuff. So Montessori children are like any other children. It's just that they learn differently. And when they go to a regular school, it might take 1 week or so for them to adjust, but they adjust beautifully, and I'm talking from experience. I actually joke with parents, with Montessori parents who are shifting to regular grade schools, that you will take time to adjust to a regular school environment. Your child will adjust more comfortably, and most authentic Montessoris actually in the final year, when the child is about to graduate, we actually have sessions where we help the child to emotionally, academically, socially cope up with the grade school environment. All right, so that's another myth busted. And the last and my least favorite is Montessori children don't get admission easily. Well, that is a huge myth. If any school takes admission in first grade, they will take Montessori children, and Montessori children are extremely aware, extremely smart, extremely curious, as I was saying, if they have been in a regular, an authentic Montessori environment. So this definitely is a myth. The admission in first grade will be as easy or as difficult as the admission in first grade from any school. Right? In Bangalore, I have seen, I always tell parents that keep your options open, but you will be at you will have a choice when you keep your options open as a parent. And I've seen it with myself, I've seen it with our graduating students. So that is absolutely and completely a myth being spread by parents who have not experienced an authentic Montessori environment. So yes, this is it. I hope you like it. I tried to keep it as short as possible. If you want to know more, do ping me or DM me, or you can email us at connect@iletmontessori.com. I will look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye. Take care of yourselves.